Morgan is also developing a new plan that has the potential to completely destroy Vince's game. Additionally, a number of house guests are considering Kelly. It's Belinda. In the event that you are not following us, kindly click subscribe. Let's also talk about the shockwaves that followed the veto ceremony and crucial discussions that took place late yesterday night and early this morning after Big Brother production threw alcohol on the BB27 house fire. Morgan told Lauren that she is not pursuing her after the veto ceremony. She was informed by Morgan that she wants Kelly evicted. Then, on Monday night, Vince informed Morgan and Lauren that he wanted them to be the final three. Vince is currently working on the sister-wife's last three plans. However, Lauren and Morgan despise one another, just like their real sister-wives. When Morgan and Vince were alone yesterday, Morgan made it plain that she fears the final three that Vince is considering because Lauren will always choose Vince over her, and Morgan cannot afford to explore this possibility. When Kelly informed Vince that she was positive Morgan would vote to oust Lauren, Vince rejected her. No, that won't take place. He believes Morgan won't put their friendship at such jeopardy after the game. We will now discuss the reasons why Vince might be mistaken. In a moment more about that. I'm not going to betray Vince, Morgan said Ashley after the realm. I refused to vote for Lauren's eviction. However, Morgan also informed her that she would explain to Vince why Lauren's decision to return home this week is wise. She is sowing those seeds. She is stating that she will not do it. Everything is changing. Let's discuss Lauren's minor indiscretion, which left me feeling a little confused. Lauren was sobbing uncontrollably to Vince before the nomination and renom, telling him that she couldn't go on the block because Morgan would send her home. Vince then remarked, "You're safe." By informing Vince that she prefers not to be on the block, Lauren attempted to avoid being noticed. Lauren seems to have never seen Big Brother. Assume the worst. The second time he plays, you'll be on the block unless you're Cody Calafiori or Derek Levasseur. Those two immediately come to mind. Otherwise, it's very, very uncommon that you don't receive a nomination. Lauren entered the HOH on Tuesday and complained to Vince as Morgan was taking a shower. Lauren was basically complaining that she needed to talk to Morgan and Ashley. Then I said, I don't want to run for office. She then continues to complain that she doesn't want to pack her belongings. To be clear, Lauren is not interested in playing the role of Big Brother. She doesn't want to make Morgan do what all of the people she nominated had to do. Despite her own personal tragedy of living on the block, Lauren is also very wounded that people continue to go about their lives in the BB house. I suppose she believes that they ought to hold a prayer vigil for her. I don't understand. While all of her nominations were struggling on the block, she seemed to be enjoying the finest Big Brother existence. Lauren has no empathy or compassion for anyone other than herself. She puts 4 people on each of her HOHs, and I find it strange that she is unable to see that she is in that posture. She also put Will and Keanu up twice. I never once witnessed them in the fetal position, sobbing and complaining that they didn't want to run for office. Lauren didn't join up to be Big Brother. She signed up to be Big Baby. Her HOH robe's initials, I believe, stand for hysterical, overrated, and helpless. Let's discuss Kelly. Kelly kind of shouts and says, "So many people are waiting," as she does her prodding thing and bursts into the HOH room as Vince and Morgan are conversing. "What are you doing?" Morgan added. "We're about finished. I'm going to head out. The entire season is waiting to talk to Vent," Kelly said to Lauren as she jumped back out and plopped down at the chess table. "Oh, are you waiting to talk to him?" Lauren then queries. Kelly responded, "No, I'm not. I don't want to speak to him ever again." She essentially went in there to act like an ass. Kelly was also caught on camera saying that she came to Big Brother to play hide-and-go-seek and make trouble. Because some people have used hide-and-go veto to simply trash other people's stuff. The thought of it kind of creeps me out. Not even making a sincere effort to play the game. I simply question whether Kelly will even look for vetoes or whether she will simply go through and demolish the entire house. Recall that I'm attempting to figure out who did it. Production did not halt them as they removed the trash sacks and threw real trash everywhere. Therefore, unless Kelly walked out with scissors and started chopping up people's clothing, I doubt they would stop her. Why does Morgan think that Kelly hates me? Vince also asked Lauren. Wait for it, because Kelly hates you, Lauren added. Which is accurate. Lauren was also informed by Ava that Kelly is so crazy that a squirrel would be envious. Ava went on to say that she fears Kelly. You see, she has discussed the anxiety that Rachel caused her, which is what makes it amusing. Compared to Rachel, Kelly is a far more significant and practical cause of anxiety. I also witnessed Lauren and Ava concur that Kelly is a good shield for all of those reasons, even though they were uneasy about her. Additionally, Ava informed Lauren that Vince's tears and moaning were all a charade. Morgan and Ashley also discussed Kelly's terrible remarks about the other house visitor, items that are completely outside of the game's parameters. According to Morgan, Kelly is unable to distinguish between game and personal. But I'll give Kelly credit for a fairly clever jab at Vince. They were sitting there playing chess when she told Keanu. Morgan is really kind to have allowed Vince to spend the entire week sleeping in her room. Keanu chuckled. That's a good gaming burn, you see. Kelly should refrain from these hurtful personal assaults and stick to that lane. Ashley is also no longer on the Ava train. She loved it. No more Big Stan. In actuality, Ashley and Morgan are both off of Ava. Ashley and Morgan were discussing Ava's duplicity. Ava advised Vince that if Morgan plays the point of view, he is effed. Then, however, Ava was saying to Morgan, "Do as you please. You're in a difficult situation, so feel free to exercise your veto power." Additionally, Ava assured Morgan that she would respect her no matter what she did. According to Ashley, Ava is attempting to set you and Vince against one another by urging Morgan to exercise the veto while telling Vince that it would be terrible if she did, because she intends to nominate Morgan and Vince if she wins HOH. Ava was also amused by Morgan using the veto to block her. Additionally, there was a significant disruption to live feeds later on Tuesday, and it seems like Big Brother gave the house guest a hint that a double elimination was imminent. Really, what the hell? This game seems as though manufacturing added gutter bumpers to a bowling alley. It's absurd. We might witness more of Morgan's plans to evict Lauren after she vowed not to now that the DE has reportedly been made public to the final 7. And perhaps Morgan's attempt to get Vince, to keep a tie in her favor. Morgan was sowing additional seeds. She informed Vince that Rachel made a mistake by putting Riley up and evicting him, and that Lauren regretted using the veto on Rachel's HOH that put Riley on the block. In essence, Morgan is attempting to draw attention to Lauren's poor readings and poor gaming choices. After the alcohol had been spilled into the house, Morgan was rubbing Vince's back like a baby and pushing him to express his thoughts like a big boy in the dark of early Tuesday morning. "I'm obviously paraphrasing. I shouldn't have had to choose," he told Morgan. It wasn't necessary for him to renom Lauren. Vince kept complaining that Morgan didn't care about his feelings or his game, failed to respect his nominations. Vince claimed that by nominating Lauren, he felt like a piece of shit and a pushover. Morgan began crying as well, but Vince continued to keep up with the wine fest. I'm not sure if she was successful in stopping his tears. She informed Vince that she no longer deserved to live in the house. Then Vince had to begin comforting her. In a sense, she reversed the script. "We'll get Kelly out," he added. "We'll free Ava. After that, my only 2 buddies will be you and Lauren. I love you and I want to go to the end with you," Vince stated after that. Morgan was undoubtedly silenced by his cries. After that, he was in the mood to apologize. Vince added that he is aware that Morgan didn't mean to harm him. "Well, then why didn't you put up Ashley while he's ranting?" she snapped at Vince when he kind of gained some testicular fortitude or became irritable due to sleep deprivation and quietly chewed on Morgan. Vince said, "I wish I did and F the jury votes. I'm fortunate for second place," as Keanu stated. When Vince yelled at Morgan once more, he rushed into the HOH room's shower and reminded him that she had previously warned him that he would be on strike 3 if he put up Ashley. Morgan said that this was true, but that Lauren wanted her out of the house while Ashley did not. Vince then became furious once more and stated, "Okay, let's kick Lauren out and stop playing my game. I don't give a damn." Then, almost in her face, Vince shut the restroom door, and Morgan reprimanded him for it. And you know what? He rolled over and said he was sorry. She also asked Vince if the door was being closed for dramatic effect. When he was complaining about Morgan taking over his HOH this morning, Morgan really have lost it and she yelled at him saying, "Look, it's going to be a tie vote, so you'll still get to decide who goes home." In any case, as Venmo's battle faded back to their human chemistry, the fighting eventually ceased and the sniffing started. As they sniffed Morgan's perfume, Smit, Kit, and Vince added, "It's going to remind me of you every time I smell this." After Big Brother, when and how does Vince intend to follow Morgan's lead? Will he purchase a bottle for Kelsey, his girlfriend? Will Vince sneak into Morgan's house and take her soiled clothes? Vince's post-B27 sniffery plans are unclear to me. Morgan, however, wears red Zara Temptation in case you were wondering. Her perfume has also received praise from other home guests, so perhaps I will give it a try. However, who would want a scent that draws in sexy homeless wankers with Victorian porn stashes? I mean, Morgan could definitely get the same response from Vince if she smeared a chili dog and PBR on her neck. Let's quickly discuss the potential vote flippery now. Therefore, evicting Lauren is a much clearer way for Morgan to achieve her goal of winning than not evicting Lauren. At the moment, Vince seems like a frog in a pot of cold water, and he hasn't recognized that Morgan is steadily raising the heat, which could boil him by Thursday. See, "I'm screwed if Kelly isn't evicted," Vince remarked in a late-night conversation. Morgan added, "If Lauren leaves, don't." Subliminal messages, gaslight, perfume, and seed after seed are all present, and Vince's resolve is eroding. In addition, he expressed his hope that Kelsey has not been embarrassed by his tears and everything else in BB27. How could Vince be oblivious to something far more ridiculous than him hanging on Morgan like a frantic spider monkey? His tears are not quite as embarrassing as that. "I love you," he told Morgan. "After this, I'll drive to your place at midnight." All of that is far more embarrassing. Ashley and Morgan discussed evicting Lauren this week on Tuesday. Morgan is aware that her connection with Vince after the game would suffer if she votes Lauren out. Ashley, however, informed Morgan that she doesn't feel sorry for Lauren and that she has persuaded Ava to do the same. Ava, Ashley, and Morgan. Lauren can be eliminated with that many votes. Just letting you know. This is a one-person game, Ashley added, giving Morgan a reality check. Does Vince believe you're seeing someone? And then she continued, I'm starting to understand Zingbot if he thinks that you're going to follow his every word and make decisions as a couple. It's possible that Morgan will make a surprise move this week. See. Return soon for additional updates. I appreciate your devotion as a listener. Don't miss the next episode, so follow us wherever you get your podcast. Soap Dirt is available on all of the main podcasting services, such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and others.